Hello, everyone. Today's lecture is going to go for me to go over the scheduling software that we're going to use for scheduling the real estate office project. So the software called Projectlibre, and it's an open source software. So I want to show you first how to download it. So Projectlibre download for free. Then you click on this link here, then you click download, okay? And then you just follow the steps of how to download the software, okay? It's an open source software, so it's good that we don't have to pay for it. So now that you have downloaded the software, let me, and I've downloaded it already here on my computer. All right, so you have the icon, it's already downloaded. So then what you do is to double click on the software, on the icon, then then it pops up a window with two options, either create a project or open a project. So you're gonna click create a project, right? That's what you wanna do. And then let me share my screen so you see what I'm doing here. Okay. All right, so that's what you see here. You type down the project name. So let's say our project for today is going to be painting a room. So let's say painting a room. You can put a manager here. So it's already by default selects for you the day's date, which is today and my day. It's that day. And then you have an option for the schedule. So for the schedule is that when the start date, and then you move forward in the project. If you unclick it, see this is changes to finish date, then you go backwards. So you don't want to do that. You want to click forward schedule. Then, okay. Now, what you have here is this window. So then what we want to do now forward is to type down here the tasks that we feel we need for painting a room, for instance. So first thing first, what do you want to do? First, let's say we select color, and then you press enter. By default, it generates 1 day for you. That's the duration of the first task, then the starting date and the finish date. Now notice the start date is today's day, and it starts from 8 a.m. and it finishes at 5 p.m. Well, how does the software know? Now, first, let me show you. From these tabs, you have File, Task, Resource, and View. If we are activating the File tab here, then you have this bunch of options. One of them is Calendar. If you click on Calendar, by default, Saturday and Sundays are off. You're not supposed to work, and your week is actually 5 days, not 7 days, starting from Monday to ends at Friday. Now, if you click Options, so your day by default is 8 hours, and then per week is 40 hours, and you have 20 days per month. That's by default. Now, from project to project, it varies, and then you can change those accordingly. And for international projects overseas, their weeks don't start on Monday. They start on Saturday or they start on Sunday. So you're going to have to change that accordingly and then they don't have 2 days weekend, they have probably one day weekend. So you're going to have to change those numbers accordingly, according to the country. So that's from the calendar. So now by default, your day, it's 8 hours, 8-hour a day, working hours, started from 8 a.m. ends at 5 p.m. So now that we have that, and we designated our first task as a select color, then the next task you may think is probably by paint. So then click enter, and that's what you have. It generates the same information for you. Then what's next? If you are painting a room, then you have walls and walls and ceilings. So let's say you prep the ceiling. I'm gonna say enter, and then prep walls, and then I would say paint ceiling, if this is the order that I want to go by, and paint walls. Now, why I chose painting ceiling before walls? Because you don't want the ceiling. If you paint the walls before the ceiling, then if you paint the ceiling, of course, you know that you will drip on the walls and mess up your work. So it's better you finish it from the ceiling top to bottom. It's better. So then you do that, and then what's next? What do you think? It'd be probably like paint trims, and then clean up. Now, those are the major tasks that I would think of. Now, what if I want to insert some subtasks? Like, for instance, here, painting the ceiling, there is another task or 2 tasks or subtask to it, which would be probably first coat and second coat. Then I highlight the very next task, then go to task, then press or select insert. Then I press the second time because I have first coat and second coat. Now the same thing goes to the wall, so I'm gonna highlight the very next one, and then